Hey, I'm Leon, and this is Leon's Garage, and I got a video for you guys, and it's on changing the coolant on a 2010 Honda Accord. And this is a voiceover because the audio that I recorded was just absolute trash, so I had to kill it. So if you guys don't like the voiceover, too bad, so sad, but every now and then you just get issues, and that's how you gotta do it. But I just want to give you guys a quick video on just flushing the coolant from your vehicle. It's not too complicated. You just got to make sure you have your coolant, distilled water if you need it, if you want to go with the concentrated route, and then have distilled water on the side. You know, you should measure it, but right now I'm just under the car, and some of the radiators will have a drain port that makes it more convenient to drain it. And if they don't, then you'll just have to loosen one of the radiator hoses and then bust it loose. And with the radiator hose, if you have to loosen that up, just keep in mind that it's going to make a bigger mess because it's just much more fluid that could just flow out of the hose versus a much smaller drain port. So you definitely want your catch can down below and ready. And you just gotta do simple righty tighty lefty loosey. Just loosen it up. And the coolant's gonna flow pretty good. And it's kind of light in color because there's a good amount of just distilled water in it. But I wanted to swap the regular green fluid. I wanted to go with a different kind of fluid. Plus, if the ratio's not quite 50-50, it won't perform as well. So you want to get it as close to 50-50 of coolant and distilled water as you can. And it must be distilled water. It cannot be tap water. So I just drained a lot of the coolant out. Now I'm just pouring more just the straight distilled water in there, so I could really get as much of the green coolant out as I can. So I just filled it up with distilled water, and then I started the car up. Yeah, I'm jumping in the car now. And when you're flushing the coolant, or if you're bleeding the system, either one you do, you have to make sure you put the heat on max. You don't have to put the fans on. You just need to make sure the heat's on max. So the coolant that's going through the heater core, that'll flow through the whole system and not just be cut off. So now you can just see that I'm just trying to get all the bubbles out and get as much water flowing through the system as I can. And then I'm going to drain it after I get this done. And the car's on jack stands, so the radiator's a little bit higher than the rest, so the bubbles should flow out of the open radiator cap faster, in theory, but it still takes a while for the system to bleed out. Now I didn't show myself draining the water because it's just the same thing as I did before. Now I'm not trying to advertise for Prestone, but I just wanted to get the Blue Asian vehicles formula fluid because that fluid I heard from a technician is that that fluid is better for the Honda, well, specifically for the Honda radiators, because it'll allow those radiators to last a little bit longer. And since I just replaced that radiator probably probably 8-9 months ago, definitely want to keep that good for as long as I can. And then now, since a good amount of the fluid that's in the system now is the blue fluid, now I just need to just sit here and wait for another, about 10 to 20 minutes, just letting it idle, letting it bleed, making sure the heat's all the way up. Because if you have a good amount of air bubbles in the system, the car can overheat, so definitely want to make sure you can bleed the system. And you'll know when the system's bled when you're watching. But it's a really short one, and I just want to say, if you like it, just make sure you like, subscribe, and then I'll catch you guys in the next video.